Now we'll look at Serbian news coverage of Day 30 of NATO airstrikes on Yugoslavia from government-controlled Radio Television Serbia in Belgrade. This portion of the news was recorded today at 1:30 p.m. Eastern and translated here at C-SPAN in Washington, D.C. It's about 40 minutes.
You're watching the primetime news of Radio Television Serbia. Good evening. The criminals of the NATO alliance hit with their missiles this morning around 4 o'clock in the morning the residence of the President of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, Slobodan Milošević, in Užička Street number 15 in Belgrade. The President of the Republic and his family were not at the moment of the attack in the house that has been razed to the ground. The house of the President of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia in Užička Street was in a residential area of the city and is surrounded by other family homes. The criminal and terrorist attack against the President's residence, when one of the missiles, certainly not by accident, hit exactly the bedroom, is undoubtedly an assassination attempt on the legitimately elected head of a sovereign state, and thus represents a classic terrorist act committed and organized by the war machine of this criminal alliance. This terrorist attack against our president just confirms that NATO criminals that have never been seen as such in the history of our planet have lost their mind, and they have gone so far and they have been embroiled so much in their crimes that they do not restrain from the most abhorrent and despicable actions. This attack is the last drop in the flow of evils that can no longer be tolerated by the freedom-loving people. The majority of people of our world are now fully aware of NATO as the greatest threat against humanity. No doubt, this crime will stir the majority of the world public against this war machine that seeks to conquer the world. The federal minister, Goran Matić, stated that the attack against the residence of the President of the Republic, Slobodan Milošević, an attempt to assassinate a leader of a sovereign state, that this is an organized criminal action. The statements of the NATO officials that this was simply an attack against the building and not against the President was called a high point of cynicism. Where should the President live unless he lives in his residence? This is where Minister Matić asked the foreign journalists, stating that this is a continuation of the evil attack against civilian targets. The Foreign Affairs Ministry spokesman Nebojša Vujović stated that this attack is also an attack on all our people and continues the campaign of terror against the population. Are kindergartens the next threat? The President of the Republic, Slobodan Milošević, met in Belgrade the special envoy of the President of the Russian Federation, Viktor Chernomyrdin. The President of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, Slobodan Milošević, received Viktor Chernomyrdin, the special envoy of Boris Yeltsin, regarding the Kosovo crisis. After the arrival of Chernomyrdin, he stated at the airport that he is coming with specific proposals on how to end the Yugoslav tragedy. Chernomyrdin stressed that the support for the Russian initiative is shared by the Commonwealth of Independent States that he visited prior to his arrival in Yugoslavia. The President of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, Slobodan Milošević, gave an interview for the Texas TV station from Houston. The interview lasted for almost an hour. The President Milošević accused NATO for the appearance of the refugees. Up until the 24th of March, before the bombing, we didn't have any refugees, but since then we've had a lot of them. This is a result of the dirty aggression. President of Yugoslavia stated that he is an optimist regarding the seeking of peaceful resolution, but NATO should stop the aggression first. We believe that when the bombardment is stopped, it will be very easy to go back to the political dialogue, stressed among other things the President Milošević in the interview for the TV station from Houston. The interview that the President of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, Slobodan Milošević, gave to the Houston TV station will be shown after this news. Aggressors continued last night and today to destroy civilian targets throughout our country. They bombed Belgrade, Valjevo, Kruševac, Kraljevo, the area of Pristina, and the last bridge in Novi Sad. Sometime around 3 o'clock today, NATO aggressors again hit the only surviving bridge, Žeželj's Bridge in Novi Sad. 4 missiles hit the already damaged bridge, just at the moment when various catastrophe response teams were trying to repair the existing damages on the bridge. The anti-aircraft units of our defenders tried to prevent the attack. The criminal airplanes of NATO, in what may be the strongest attack against Pristina, threw over the wider area of around Pristina about 40 missiles. The bombing of this area began around 10 o'clock and 20 minutes this morning, close to the village of Sofailia, which is predominantly Albanian, then the area of Golesh, Albanian villages Pomazati and Belačevac, the village of Aivalia, and one missile hit yet another village. Up until 4:30 in the afternoon, there were a total of 50 missiles that were hitting Pristina. Members of all ethnic groups from Kosovo, Serbs, Montenegrins, Albanians, Turks, Gypsies, held in Pristina today a marvelous anti-war protest meeting in which they sent a message to the members of NATO countries to stop this war. From this magnificent anti-war gathering in Pristina, attended by over 10,000 members of all ethnic groups in Kosovo, there was a single message to the presidents of the countries and governments of the NATO countries that are gathering in Washington. Stop the bombing, because Serbia will never be conquered. We want peace. We want to live as human beings. This message was spoken in Serbian, Albanian, Turkish, and English languages. From this big national gathering in Pristina, we, the Serbs, Albanians, Turks, Gypsies, are sending you a message: stop the war. When you meet tomorrow at the planned meeting against the Kosovo crisis, instead of the false statements of your officials that lead us into an ever deeper war in Yugoslavia, consider our message, which speaks the truth. There are differences among us, but no conflicts. The only conflict was caused by this now defunct terrorist group KLA that enjoyed your support and the help of your bombs. The problems on Kosovo, we want to solve them in peace. Among us who live here, your bombs and killings are the only obstacle. We want all of our people of Kosovo, regardless of ethnicity and religion, to go back to their homes, from which they fled because of your bombs. Please stop the bombing, because they're fleeing it. Please stop the bombing that prevents them from returning. We want to repair those homes, schools, hospitals, factories, kindergartens, bridges, railroads, instead of spending your wealth in order to destroy us and kill us. Use it to help us restore what you have ruined. We ask you to stop this war and let us live in peace. Please remove the obstacles to peace.